welcome back to my channel. Today I'm starting a new series on a book I recently picked up called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. My version might be a little bit different than yours because, as you can see, it's the revised and updated version for the 21st century. It was updated and revised by Dr. Arthur R. Pell. It was originally written by Napoleon Hill though, so let's get into it. Chapter 1 starts off with the story of Edwin C. Barnes. This chapter is titled The Power of Thought, and Napoleon Hill talks about how it is that you can really think and grow rich. Barnes wanted to work with Edison, not for Edison. He had a burning desire, and when his desire first came to him, he was far from his goal. He didn't have enough money for the fare to New Jersey, and he didn't know Mr. Edison. These problems are enough to discourage lots of people, but he fought through them, and he traveled on a freight train to his destination. After his journey on the train, he went to Edison's laboratory and said he wanted to go into business with the inventor. A few years after their first meeting, Edison said, "He stood before me, looking like an ordinary tramp, but there was something in the expression on his face which conveyed the impression that he was determined to get what he came after. That when a man really desires something so deeply, he is willing to stake his entire future on the single turn of a wheel in order to get it, he is sure to win. I gave him the opportunity he asked for because I saw he had made up his mind to stand by until he succeeded. Subsequent events proved that I'm no mistake with me. What young Barnes said to Edison is far less important than what he thought. Edison said to himself, it was the thought that really counts." Barnes didn't get the partnership with Edison on the first interview. However, he did get a chance to work in the Edison offices at a normal wage, doing work that was unimportant to Edison, but very important to Barnes. It gave him an opportunity to display his skills to Edison where intended. Months went by, and apparently nothing happened. However, Barnes didn't give up. He never said, what's the use? I guess I'll just change my mind and try for a salesman job. He said, I came to get a partnership with Edison, and that's what I will get. Psychologists have said, when one is truly ready for something, it puts in its appearance. His opportunity finally came when Edison had just finished a new office device called the Edison Dictating Machine, later renamed the Ediphone. His salesman didn't like it very much. However, Barnes was ready and leapt at the opportunity, and he told Edison he knew he could sell Edison's new invention, and got the chance to do so. Out of that, he made the slogan, "Made by Edison, installed by Barnes." Young Barnes sold the new invention so well that Edison gave him a contract to distribute all over the market. The next subchapter is titled 3 Feet from Gold. R.U. Darby, who later became a very successful insurance salesman, tells a story about his uncle who got the gold fever in gold rush days. He went west and staked a claim. After weeks of labor, he found a shining ore. He needed machinery to bring the ore out of the ground, so, quickly and quietly, he covered up the mine so no one else stole his ore. Then he went to his home in Williamsburg, Maryland, and asked some of his neighbors and family for money so he could get and ship the machinery. The uncle and Darby returned to the mine and went back to work. Then, the first car of ore was shipped to the smelters, and they had one of the richest veins in Colorado. A few more cars and they would be able to pay off the debts. Then, they would be able to make profits to the sky. The drills went down and hopes were high, but then something happened. The vein of gold disappeared. Had they come to the end of the rainbow? They desperately tried to pick up the vein again, but they couldn't find it. So, they sold the machinery and mine to a junk man for a few $100s. Then they took the train back home. Some junk men are dumb, but not this one. He had called a mining engineer to come look at the site and to do some calculating. The engineer said the mine had failed because Darby and his uncle were not familiar with fault lines. He said the vein would be found just 3 feet from where the Darbys had started. That's crazy. He said the vein would be found just 3 feet from where the Darbys had stopped drilling, and that's exactly where it was found. The junk man took in millions of dollars from that vein because he knew to seek an expert before quitting. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for the next chapter. And if you're interested, I make a free Discord community group where I provide immense value. I'll link that in this description below, and it's in my profile.